Hello gamers, this is Pet from gamerpet.com and welcome to Europa Universalis 4 review and tutorial. Like in my Crusader Kings 2 review tutorial, I decided to make a video where I will tell you about the game, and then I will also show you how I learned playing this game, because these games are pretty complex. And I could say, hey, 9 out of 10, this game is great, buy it, and then you will buy the game, and then you'll be like, what the fuck is this? How do you play this? It's too complex, I'm not going to. It's not really. It is complex, it is profound, but it's not really that hard to pick it up. So I decided to do my video on Europa Universalis 4. So this is the screen, and what is this game about? Basically, it's a grand strategy game developed by Paradox Development Studios, and they are pretty known on making this type of games. So the game, you can start as early as 1444, and get this, you can play with every country you want, really. You can play with Bohemia if you want. You can play with England if you want. You can play with Portugal if you want. Hey, you can even play with Kazan or hey, play with Japan. Yes, in 1444, Japan was only made of these two provinces, and you can actually start the game and do whatever you want. It's not. This is something great. It's not. Europa Universalis 4 is not a game where you play the game and you try to find that path that you need to follow, and you start again and you play it, and you start again and you play it, and then you fail and you start again. No, you can do whatever you want, and this is something that it's making people it's confusing people. Like, you start the game and you'll be like, okay, what now? What do I do now? What did I supposed to do now? And I'm going to show you like 2 games that I've started. And again, you can actually start later than 1444. You can start in 1544, and you can see the map adapts, and it's trying to be as historical as possible. I bet that there are some mistakes here and there, but it's really great. And basically the game ends around 18 something, and when you will reach that date, you will basically get a score and see how well you did, how well you've done. Another thing that I have to add is that if you want to do the Steam achievements, you need to click on options and enable Iron Man mode. This mode basically only allows you to only allows you for one save, and the game will automatically save pretty often. And this is really how the game should be played, because even if you failed or you did something, just start again. It's really fun to experience and start and try to change the history of the world. Like in my first game, I started 2 times with Wallachia, because I knew it's going to be a short game, and it's really a different type of game with Wallachia. You really need to be a diplomat. You need to try to be friends with the Ottomans, and to try to be friends with Hungary, and really try to wait for that open door, and then try to take it and take advantage of that open door, and try to conquer something, and try to get Transylvania and then Moldavia if you want to create Romania. But it really plays different with each country. In my second game, I started with Portugal, and because I wasn't actually sure on how the colonization worked, it took me until about 1520 to finally be able to colonize Brazil, but until then Spain was already here, so I just decided to start a new game. And in my new game, this is my game with Portugal right now. In 1577, you see Great Britain exists, France exists, Spain exists, and it was Castile basically for a long time, and this is it. Check this out. Look how much I colonized. Everything is Portugal, everything is mine. I even went here to the Caribbeans. Again, it's not, you do not have to follow a predefined path of history. You do whatever you want, and I want to do that, and I did it. And in my second game, I actually started with Venice. And I will actually show you. So first let's actually start with Portugal, and I will show you exactly my game. Again, it's 1577. And yeah, the game starts at paused, and sometimes you get you know, random events like this one, and blah 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 blah, and then you will choose a choice, which basically involves negative or a positive value. Now, again, I will try to keep this video as short as possible, but it will probably not be as short as possible, because I do need to tell you about stuff, and I'm not going to go over all the interfaces and, you know, stuff like that. What you need to know is that whenever you hover the cursor, you will get this tooltip. You will get a tooltip about everything. Just wait a bit and you will see all the details you need to know. Also, you have this button here, click for hint mode. You click it, you see that some stuff turned blue, and then you click like, hey, what is this icon? It's 0 available merchants. What's a merchant? You click it and you will get some info here, and you will be able to read about trade, about taxes, and so on. Now, another thing that you need to keep in mind is that you have different map modes. Like right now it's on terrain map mode and everything is looking pretty, but it's not really that useful. It's useful to see exactly what type of terrain it is, so you know when you start the combat how much attrition you will have there. So fighting in mountains is kind of hard to assault, but it's easier to defend and stuff like that. However, you will spend most of the time in the political map mode. Here you will be able to see exactly the countries. This is Portugal. I also have 2 regions here. This is Spain, this is France, and so on. Another super important map mode is the trade map mode. And this is something new in Europa Universalis 4. They completely redone the trade system. And I will talk more about the trade a bit later, especially in the Venice gameplay. And you also have Imperial map mode, which is basically useful for the Roman Holy Empire. And religious map mode and diplomatic map mode, like whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, so the first time you start, you will have a couple of notifications here. If you want to get rid of it, just right click. I honestly don't care about this one. For example, right click. National decisions available. Okay, I can build the improvements. Okay, truce will expire. Okay. Revolts possible in Ceuta, 3.9% here. There is a chance for some rebels to spawn. Okay, country is at war. As you can see, I'm at war with Bohemia. And basically, I'm at war because I have an alliance with Spain, and sometimes they actually call for you, call to arms. And if you refuse, you will lose 25 prestige. And in case you played Crusader Kings 2, prestige here is something much more valuable, and right now I have 68. It's something that's going a bit up, a bit below. I don't think I ever went above 80 or something like that, so 25% is a lot. One of the things that I did when I started with England is cancel my when I started with Portugal, is cancel my alliance with England, because they will basically ask me to war with France. And even that I didn't have too many problems, I didn't want to, you know, they will constantly ask you for come help us, come help us. But I did started an alliance and marriage with Castile, and Castile later became Spain. And okay, this is the money. This is a lot of money, and I also have a lot of income, because again, I've been playing for more than 100 years. I've been colonizing a lot of stuff. This is the manpower. This is the stability. This is something very important. You can be +3 or -3, and this is you will get random events, and also when your monarchs die, you will lose some stability, and it's always going to be a number that's going back and forth. This is the prestige, and this is the legitimacy. If you are playing with Venice, for example, you will have a republic here, and there are some different rules. Basically, as it says, their legitimacy is a measure on how legitimate monarchs are perceived to be by their subjects. Again, I'm not going to go over everything, but just if you are confused, just hover the cursor. What's super important are these 3 stuff. This is the administrative power, diplomatic power, and military power. And why these things are important is because you will have to make some choices with these numbers. You will see, like right now, every month I get +4 administrative power. I get +5 diplomatic power, and so on. The reason why I get right now I have a Regency Council, and the Regency Council only has +4 military skill. My king that will soon to be will have 6 administrative power, which is kind of nice. And basically I will get each month I will get 1 point from the king. Like right now I get 0, but I get 4 military skill, and in total it's 8. Not only that, but he will also get plus points from these advisors. This is another thing that you will see a notification early on, but don't go to hire advisors. Why? Because they are like super expensive. Like this dude is 9.3 cost per month, and when you start the game you will have something like a profit of +1 gold, and you will not you will not be able to have 3 of them, only if you are really doing fine. And they basically give you different you know, choices. You will have you can choose between 3 of them. Another thing to keep in mind is that this guy has skill +1, so if I hire this guy I will get +1 to this administrative power. That's how you gain the power. It's always going to be something slow and something that you will need to take a decision, right? Also, these are the country modifiers. When you get different bonuses, it doesn't matter too much. This is a diplomacy. Whenever you click someone, like for example I'm on diplomacy and I click Spain, I will see stuff about Spain. I can declare war to them, I can do alliance actions, I can do dynasty actions, and I'm not going to go over each one of them, just go there. Something that I do pretty often is improve relations. And as you can see, this requires a diplomat to maintain these actions. Right now I have 3 diplomats. When you start the game I believe you get 2. And you will need diplomats to do actions like this, basically. And improve relationship, basically the diplomat will sail there and he will improve, as you can see there, improve relations +64, and I get -3 per year, so it's going to decay. Same thing, if I click on France, again, stuff by France, and I can send them a warning, an insult, or different stuff. Economy. Something, as you can see, right now, since I'm not at war, I have the army maintenance at minimum. Why? Because I don't see any point to actually pay them 10 gold per month. But you need to keep in mind that whenever you start a war or some combat with rebels or whatever, just put the slider on top, because this affects the morale of the army, and if you have army maintenance to 0, they will have no moral, so they will simply instantly lose, or sometimes you won't even be able to move them, to move the army. You also have income with stuff and expenses with stuff, and the balance, right now I'm on +31.57. As I said, I'm doing superb in this game. I'm doing superb. I'm kind of bored a bit. This is why I started the game with Venice. Also, something super important is the inflation. Whenever you take a loan, the inflation will go up, and you know, stuff like that. I'm not going to go. Trade. This is something new in Europa Universalis 4. They totally revamped it, and it's something pretty important, and I will go over each one of them soon. Technology. These 2 tabs are something super important. Basically, in order to upgrade, you have 3 tiers, as you can see, 3 choices: administrative technology, diplomatic technology, military technology. If you want, right now I'm on. You start at 3. Right now I'm on 10. And whenever these things, as you can see, I need 420 power to go to the next level, and I have 132 available. So I will have a choice. Do I put the points into the technology here, or here? Again, if you want to level up diplomatic, you will need this type of points. If you want military, you will need this type of points, and so on. And at every level, you will gain some stuff. Just hover. For example, a colonial range. I will get, it will be improved at level 3, 7, 9, 11, and so on. There are a lot of levels, as you can see. One thing that you need to do early on is just level up at level 4 for the administrative powers. Why? Because you will get one idea group, and what that is this one. You will be able to choose one from here, and I will show you actually in a new game, because right now I already have 3 ideas. And oh, never mind, check this out. I choose exploration ideas because with Portugal I wanted to go and explore and colonize, right? But you will be able to choose from all this stuff plus the 3. These are 3 missing, that are these 3. Okay, so as you can see, you can really play however you want. If you want to play military, you will probably want to choose something on the military range. But keep in mind that, as you can see, this is the military icon, this is the diplomatic icon, this is the administrative icon. Every couple of points, these 3 are completed. Okay, how to explain this better? These 3 are completed already, but you will get a bar like this. So this is a diplomatic group, right? So if I want to get +1 colonist and select this icon, it's like a tree. You level up, you click it, bam, I get +1 colonist, and then I get quests for a new world. You will need diplomatic power, right? But if I use my points from the diplomatic power here on the ideas, I will not have enough points to level up the diplomatic technology, and I might remain behind, right? So you will have to find a balance between going for the technology or going for the ideas, which will improve your country, right? Same thing with technology, which will improve your country. Another thing to keep in mind is that with the technology you can go too much ahead. For example, as you can see, I'm ahead with the military technology. I'm at 15 because I kind of never used military points for ideas. I only used administrative and diplomatic. So I always have plenty of military points, right? So this is why I'm so ahead. So right now I'm 15 years ahead of time on what I supposed to be on military. So I'm getting a penalty of 150%, right? So I need 1410 power to level again. So right now I will not put any points here. I will not level up. It is the type of the game is basically telling you, okay, slow down with the technology, right? But again, I believe in this game because I had I had 2 exploration ideas that evolved around diplomatic. I was something at level 5. While my administrative was at level 10, so I actually had to catch up. This is why I choose my third idea. I choose one that's from the administrative power, so I can use the points from the administrative into the ideas and keep the diplomacy for the tech. Again, this is something that you will do a lot in this game. It is more a game about logistics and how to find a balance on ruling your country, which is something great. Missions and decisions. Basically, you will have different decisions here, as you can see. The one with green is a mission particular for your country. So if I start with Wallachia, you will get a mission to unify Romania. If you start with Japan, you will get a mission to unify Japan and something, and so on, right? I can also pass a mining act, which requires have a production efficiency of over 50%, and if I do that, I will get 5 mercantilism. I will get until 1821. I will get trade efficiency minus 5%, but I will get production efficiency and national tax modifier plus 5%. So you will have to do a decision. Do I do this? I don't do this. And with the mission is you will get different missions, like if I remember with Venice, I started with Venice and they told me to eliminate Ragusa, and I choose the mission. I eliminated Ragusa, I basically conquered them, and bam, I completed the mission. This is the objective right now. I'm having a mission that says that I need to have tariff efficiency of at least 100%, right? And the reward if I do that will be this: colonial enthusiasm and blah 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 blah. If you cancel your mission, you won't be able to choose a new mission for about 5 years. So, keep that in mind. Stability and expansion, something pretty important. Here you will see the possible rebels, as you can see, I have 3.90 revolt risk in Ceuta, which is this one. Oh, with Portugal, I got a mission to conquer this. And I did that. I conquered, I started the war. I conquered this area, Casablanca and Fez, on this one. And when you conquer them, you will basically be able to offer them peace. And here you will have different, like, different choices to demand tribute or offer tribute, right? And I offered them, I basically asked them to give me Casablanca, Tangeris and Melita, which created a lot of problems. Why? Because of overextension, which is something that you can see here. Right now I'm 0%, right? I had overextension and I kind of didn't have too much army because I lost the army into the combat, and the rebels rised, and the rebels were using something like 10 or 11 units, and I only had something like 5 or 6, and I said, okay, bad decision, let's start again. And with overextension, this is something to keep in mind. I'm selecting this province, right? And you see that cores and claims. And you see Portugal considered this to be one of your core provinces, right? And when you get a new region, it's not on your core. So it's like you overextended yourself. And you will be, in order to make this region your core, like if this region was mine, you will need to use what? Administrative power. It will actually cost you points of administrative power to make a region your core. So you will have to take a decision. Do I use my administrative power to make that region my core, or do I keep my points to go for technology or ideas? You see, the point, these points are very, very, very important. Also, another thing, you can boost your stability. As I've said, you can go to +3 or -3, and there are some effects, as you can see, some percentage, and you can boost your your stability with what? With administrative points, administrative power points. See how important that this number is. Same thing with war exhaustion, colonial expansion, your range, and here you will be able to manage your overextension. Religion, right now, get this, guys. This guy is there trying to convert the religion in Ceuta since I started this game. I never had enough percentage, as you can see. If you count the pluses, like +2, +0.5, +1, +1, +1, +0.1, 0.1, it will never reach a time. So don't send your missionary to try to convert a religion if you don't see a time there, because he will just sit there. And there are different ways to improve your missionary strength. I'm not going to go over them, but there are ways, right? Also, another thing very important is the military tab, where you will be able to see your military. And another thing to keep in mind is the force limit. If you go over your force limit, you will pay more cost to the army. Same thing with the naval tradition. You can also hire different different leaders. Like you click here, this is a general, and this is a conquistador. With the conquistador, you'll be able to go into the unexplored territory. Like I have explored everyone, except this is Terra Incognita. If I want to go there to explore, I need a conquistador on that army. Okay, so I've been talking for some time. Sorry, guys, but as I've said, there are, you know, a lot of stuff to cover. One thing that I've started with the Portugal, as I've said, you need, there is a range from Portugal to Brazil. There is a range, right, which is colonial range, and when you start the game, the colonial range is pretty short. It's something until here, around here. So I didn't know exactly how to colonize Brazil, and someone suggested to try to colonize Cape Verde, and after that, after you colonize this one, you make this province your core, and then your direction from here to here, your distance from here to here will be much shorter, and you will be able to colonize Rio Grande and so on. So how do you colonize? When you start the game, you will have no colonists, right? So as I've said, I choose the idea of the exploration ideas, and after some time I got colonial ventures, which gave me 1 colonist. And after that I got quest for the new world, which allowed me to to hire let's see, where do I have a boat? Here is a boat. It has no leader. I cannot select because it's patrolling basically. This one is protecting a trade. Actually no, it's still patrolling. Whenever you click here, you will be able to hire see, an explorer. Don't confuse it with an admiral. Admiral is just an admiral. An explorer can go in terra incognita. So I was able to go get one, and then I was able to go and explore this Cape Verde, and then I colonized them. And when you colonize, right now I have none available, but let's go to an uncolonized area. Let's go here. Uncolonized land. I will just be able to click this button. You will be able to, you know, the colonists will take some time to arrive there, and then you will need to pay attention to the natives, how many of them they are and how aggressive they are. Basically, I had to create some units. This is what this unit is doing. Basically, he's killing the natives, so the natives will not attack my colonists. And after that, as I've said, I sent a colonist here, and then here, and then here, and then so on, right? Oh, there is so much to talk about. I thought this was going to be easier. Another thing to keep in mind, if you want to build buildings, you select a province, you can go to buildings, and these buildings, some of them will be unlocked with technology later on. Another thing to build buildings is you select this production interface, and if you want units, you select the unit you want, and then you will be able to click, and those regions will produce that unit. Same thing with the buildings. Building, base building, let's see where we can build a temple. Another thing to keep in mind is that temple is giving you tax income. Okay, it's costing you 27 because I do have some modifiers, but it will also cost me 10 administrative power. So guys, you will need to really manage your numbers. It's not really hard, but it's something to keep in mind. And you click the temple. It's blue right now because I already have temples on this area. But if I go to Brazil and I want to build a temple, okay, I click, and those two regions will build a temple. It will take them around 12 months. Okay, let me explain you something very important. The trade. This is something new in Europa Universalis 4, and trade is very important. Or actually, I think I should go on the Venice game. But basically, you will get, at the start of the game, we will get like 1 or 2 merchants, and you will be able to put, again, if you want to see those, click on the trade map mode, and you will be able to see this, and you will be able to see these arrows. Right now, I have a merchant that's here. There are 2 things to keep in mind. The power and... how to put this? Basically, I have a merchant here that's collecting from trade. When you put a merchant into a node, you will be able to do 2 choices. Collect from the trade or send the power. I'm collecting from the trade right now, and I'm getting about 5.2, I believe, per month only from this trade. Because I do have the most power 90.5. And another thing to keep in mind is this. All the regions from this area belong to Brazil. Brazil is this trade power. All the regions from this area belong to this trade power, Peru. This trade power belongs to Panama. This trade power belongs to Caribbeans, right? And the reason why I'm collecting from this trade is because, and I'm not moving the trade forward, is because the trade going forward will go to this. It will go to this port, and on this port, Mali has the most trade power. So I will just send them money, but I will not be able to send more. Like, for example, I can use another merchant here to send power on top here, and another merchant here to send power here. And basically, this is something super important. When you start the game with Portugal, make sure you have the most power here in Sevilla. Because in Sevilla, again, this is another spot where I'm collecting the trade. So keep this in mind. There are different trade nodes, right? You send the trade nodes, and you want to collect the trade node. You want to be the one that's having... it's a bit harder to explain, but it's not really that complex. Like for example, in this sport, it's not only me in this sport. In this sport, we have Spain, we have France, we have Morocco, we have Algeria, and so on. So there is money flowing into this sport, and because I do have trade power, I'm the one that's getting more percentage, right? And I'm collecting the trade, and I'm getting money from that. So moving trade forward is a way on getting more into this trade node. Okay, so this is the reason why I'm collecting directly from this node and I'm not sending it forward, because then I will need a merchant here, and so on. So let me show you this one. Since I started to colonize the Caribbeans, which are this one, because they have a pretty higher number of tax. They are still growing, so this is why it's only 5. Look, 7. I'm having oh, I also had this, I basically conquered Inca, which is this one, which was a country here, right? So then I found, okay, since I'm not having any merchant, I'm not gaining anything from this region because I don't have a trade power. They go to this node. So I'm having a merchant that's transferring trade power. I am having the most power because I'm kind of the only one that's here. And he's moving forward 6.51, right? The trade is going up, the trade stops here. Here, I'm the one that's having more power, right? And since there is only one flow, there is no point on me on keeping a merchant here, because the merchant is still going to go, you know, the flow of the money is still going up. So right now from 6.51, the trade power, the trade node, it's sending 8.29 to the next trade node, which is this one, the Caribbeans. And the Caribbeans is a pretty important trade node. Why? Because it's having a flow coming from Mexico, it's having a flow coming from USA, you know, whatever. And it's going here, right? And I'm having the most trade power. I'm even keeping a merchant there that's transferring trade power, right? Because I want to be in control and send money home, right? And you see this this checkpoint, I've selected to send trade power on this route and not on this route, on this route. Why? Because check this out, I'm sending 17.88 trade power, which is going here, which is going here, which is going here, which is going here, here. It's arriving in Seville, where I'm having a merchant that's collecting money, and I'm also having the most power. So this is how I manage to produce money with these regions. They are in another trade node. I managed to send the trade node here in the Caribbeans when I'm keeping control, when I'm sending the trade node here in Seville, where it's my hometown and I'm making money, right? Okay, let me go right now on Venice game, where you will see more stuff. Again, I do have to apologize because it's getting into a longer video and it might seem confusing, but trust me, after watching this video you will be like, okay, you will know how to pick up the game. So let me start my game with Venice. This is my game with Venice, right? When you start the game, you start without this region and this region and this region. I got a mission to conquer Agusa, and I did. I also converted it into a core, and as you can see, core and claims. More people have claims on that region. And culture is also Croatian, so I can use diplomatic power, 75 diplomatic power, to change this into a Lombard culture, which is my culture, right? Okay, let's do this. It will take 36 months. And with Venice, again, the reason why I took these two provinces is that I took the opportunity to attack Austria when they were in troubles. I'm still having problems with them. As you can see, overextension. 28% manage. As you can see, I'm still converting a core, this one, to my to be my province. Stability is 0. I had problems that I went to -3 actually because of that. And the thing with Austria is that they are Holy Roman Empire, and they asked me to give the province back, and I refused, and there are a lot of people who actually got upset on me because of that. So you will need to manage your diplomatic stuff, to know when to be a diplomat and not to be a diplomat, and so on. But a good reason to start with Venice is to talk about trade power, right? As you can see, Venice is here. There is a trade node here where I'm collecting trade, because there is no point on, I don't have where to shift trade because everything is stopping here. And as you can see, I'm in control of it. I have trade power, and there are different stuff to get trades, to get trade power. So there is trade coming from Vienna. Not too much, only 0.67. There is trade coming from Zaragoza, 1.37. This is one of the reasons why I conquered Ragusa, in order to have more control, right? Keep that in mind. I'm on 18.1. I'm also keeping some 9 small light ships, because light ships are giving power to the trade. Because if I don't have power and there are other countries on top of me, I will not be able to shift this much money into Venice, where I want basically everything to shift, right? Also, there is another region of Alexandria, with red. Crete is taking part of Alexandria. This one is a perfect example. Right now, I'm having power with 78.6. The Mamelukes, which are actually living here, have 78.2. I'm actually keeping 60 light ships there in order to get that, because for them it's much easier to have trade power, because they can just build buildings that give trade power, and they also have regions that give trade power. Same thing with me on Venice. For them it's pretty hard. Like, check this out. I'm getting 37 trade power from 1.5 from Brescia, 1.5 from Trent, and from all these regions that I have on this area are giving me trade power. So on Alexandria I don't have any regions except Crete, and Crete is giving me 5.2 trade power. So I need to keep a lot of trade light ships there to patrol the trade in order to rise my trade power. And as you can see, I'm sending 2.74 forward. When the game started, the merchant was sending power here on this line, and it was going to Constantinople. And I said, like, why? I don't want to give the Ottomans trade power. So I just decided to move everything going directly into Venice. So everything is flowing into Venice. I can actually change it, as you can see, but no, I want it to flow into Venice. Okay. I also have another extra merchant that's already into Constantinople, right? And look, it's super hard for me. I'm not even trying. I don't have any trade power from the provinces, because I have no province in this Ottoman area, Ottoman trading node, right? On Constantinople, actually, it's being called, as you can see. And I also can't put any ships there, so I'm only getting 80% trade power. I'm also getting minus 28 because of overextension. So I have 2.3, but I'm still able to shift 1.47. Actually, I'm not the only one that's applying power. Everyone is applying power and is shifting this into Ragusa again, and then I'm trying to shift more into there. As you can see, only 0.15 is going top, and bottom only 0.35 is going bottom from Genoa, basically. And I'm still pretty good. And this is how you basically manage it. I know that I've talked for the past 30 minutes about the trade. It's not really that complicated. It's all about how you send the power or how you forward the power. And with Venice is actually the first time where I actually had to think. Like, I was like, okay, let's build some light ships to protect the field. This is a light ship, right? And you have 4 different types of ships. The light ship is the fastest one, and they have this special option to protect, right? You click it, and you will be able to send it to protect a trade route. So I actually send it to protect Ragusa, so I will have just enough trade power to be in control of this node, to be on top of that node, right? I can be even more and get even more percentages of this whole thing, but I think this is enough, right? I'm still the one on top. Another thing to keep in mind with Venice is the Republican tradition. They don't have a monarch, so they don't have an heir, and they can't do royal marriages and so on. But they do have, every 5 years, I will be able to choose a new advisor, and I will be able to choose an advisor that's having 411, 141, or 114, and I can choose to keep that advisor for 5 more years, and he will gain 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, but I will lose some of the Republican tradition. The score will go down, and as you can see, the game is about balancing stuff, and it's super nice. Because, like as I've said, you start the game, you have no goal, which might be confusing for some people. Like, I have no goal, okay, what do I do now? And you do whatever you want. Like, right now, I've basically started to create a trade, so I get more trade. And then I choose to attack and get these 2 regions. I wanted these 2 regions because this one was kind of... if I want to move the army from here to here, I either do it by boat, which is kind of annoying, or I ask Austria to give me military passage. And I didn't want to do that, so I decided to conquer this region, right? And one of my missions in the future will be to maybe unify Italy. Like, I will try to get this region. This is only one region, right? And I can... Another thing to keep in mind is that you need a reason to declare war. You need a casus belli. Right now I have no casus belli, and if I attack them, I will get aggressive. I will get a lot of penalties, right? I can use my where is it? I can use my diplomat to fabricate a claim, and then after some time I will get a reason that he will fabricate a claim, and they will say that, hey, this region, I will have a claim here. This region should belong to mine, and I have a reason to attack you. But I took the decision, I'm not going to do that yet. Why? Right now they are at war with a couple of them, and they are allied with Brandenburg, which is somewhere around. But they are allied with Switzerland, and they are also allied with Tuscany. I got a mission to conquer Cyprus, or however you pronounce it, but they have a truce with Tripoli, and basically it's a vassal of Mamelukes. So if I declare war on them, Mamelukes who are here, I will be in trouble with them. Before that, they were actually Mamelukes who were guaranteeing their independence. So if I declare war to Cyprus, they will basically, I will also be at war with the Mamelukes, and I don't want that. So there are different factors that you need to look. Like, okay, do I declare war on Ferrara? They have these 3 regions, right? They are allied with Milan and Naples. They are allied with Naples. With Milan, and Naples was somewhere around here. I don't see them. This one, I believe. No, I don't know. Around here. So this is why it's super important to see exactly where you attack, what do you want to do. Wait for the opportunity and strike, and so on. Like, right now Valahia only has 1 region. I'm curious what is going to happen with them. So as you can see, this is Europa Universalis 4. I'm not sure if I want to do let's play or not. Probably not. But as you see, it's not really that hard to pick up the game. If you have questions, just ask in the comments below, or go to gamerpad.com/forum, and there will be a topic. Just go in the comments below, and in the description, and you will be able to see a link to my forum. Ask me there if you want to see it. If you want to buy the game, I also placed the link below. Make sure you go for if you check when they have discount coupons. And I also basically pre-ordered the game, and I bought the deluxe edition. And the normal price was something like $45, but I bought it for $35, and I also got $12 a credit store, and I basically used the $12 to buy Payday 2. So it's super nice. About the game, again, About the game, let's go to exit to my menu. And, you know, explain some other stuff to you, really short. Because again, in this game you can do whatever you want. You can start with England, and when you start, you will see some details here, basically. Military leader, difficulty, English ideas. Every country has different ideas, different bonuses. And you will start with the 100 Years War. So if you want to start with England, it might be a good idea to try to sell these regions from the bottom and try to make peace with France, and then try to do something. Or maybe if you have balls, you actually want to try to conquer France. It's going to be super hard. As you can see, there are different suggestions, different historical starts. You can start with Castile. Some people actually, these three regions with Ottomans, Castile and France, it's being suggested to start. It's a bit easier because they are large and they already have a force. You can start with Sweden. They are pretty large. And if you, hey, you can even start with Teutonic Order and try to do something, whatever you want. Try to conquer Poland or something. It's not, like, as I said, in one of my games I will actually start with Wallachia and I will try to unify Romania, and that's going to be super hard. Why? Because I need Silistra, I need Basarabia, I need Moldova, I need Maros, I need Hunyad, I need Temesh. This is where I live here actually. I will need Bihar, Maramoros, it's actually Maramuresh, and it's going to be super hard. Why? Because I need to survive the attacks from the Ottomans, I need to survive the attacks from Hungary, I need to somehow be in control of Moldavia, and Moldova right now, it's a vassal of Poland. So again, you really need to wait for the moment to strike and see. And this is something that I love about this game. It's really creating a shitload of opportunities. It's not a small example. XCOM, Enemy Unknown. You know, the game made by Firaxis where you have your units and you try to. That's a game that's, you can start it a lot of times, but it's still the same game. You have an iron mode, but it's still the same game. And it's basically you trying to find a predefined path, and you try to find that predefined path by starting different games. Here, you start with a historical region, and then you do whatever you want. You want to play trade, you want to play conquest, you want to play whatever you want, and you do it. You have a lot of opportunities, and this is something that some people found daunting. Like, okay, I started the game. What do I do now? Like, really, when you start the game, let me actually start the game if I'm still here. Let's start the game with England, like whatever. Start. It's iron mode and it's asking me to. Okay, England. So let's see. You start with England. You are at war with France. I can offer them peace and demand tribute. They will not accept this. Another thing to keep in mind. Peace offer value. War score 26. In order for them to accept the, you know, for them to give me this province, I will need a war score of 26. You gain war score by conquering their provinces and winning battles. You will basically, you will be able to see here, right? With England, I have two merchants that are already. One here that's basically collecting from trade, and another one in Bordeaux that's sending power. He's sending power here to me basically, and I'm not having the most power. France is having the most power, so one thing that I might do is try to get more power there. What else? Oh, sorry. You're basically watching me. Sorry. With England, basically, yeah. You have. You can. You have 3 missions: construct a grand fleet, form an alliance with vassalize Scotland. That's going to be pretty hard. Yeah, one thing is to maybe try to make peace with France by selling these 3 provinces. Let's see. Can we do that? actually sell these provinces to Navarra. Do they want it? Not here. And sell province. We are at war, so we cannot sell province when we are at war. Okay, so try to make peace. Okay, let's try to make peace. White peace. How do you do a white peace? Offer tribute. Okay, I will offer them calais. Now it's not how you pronounce it. And then offer them Caux and offer them, no, not that one, this one, Normandy. Okay, they will accept. I offer them those. I unpause the game. I speed up a bit, and they accepted. We are now at peace with France. Okay. So let's try something that you can do. Look, I offer an alliance with Savoy. I will decline it for now. Let's go to Navarra and then try to sell a province. Try to sell this one. They don't want it. They don't have enough money, basically, which is okay. Diplomacy is sell province. They still don't want it. It's a lot of money, basically. You see, with zero, even with zero, they still don't want it. So there are different stuff. I made peace with France, and basically I will try to unify everything, to try to conquer Ireland and then try to do something with Scotland. I'm having minus 4.25 per month. One thing that you might want to do is army maintenance, go it to 0. And then I will try not to move the army at all. I will try to get... I cannot afford, like, look, I'm plus 2.34. I can't really afford one, or maybe I can afford one with, look like, maybe get... Yearly presentation says nope. Maybe get this one. Oh, no, never mind. 9 cost per month. So that's a lot. Try to pick a mission that we can do. And just... You will basically do a lot of waiting. You will basically just let the game run its course and then try to do something. Try to improve my my relationship with Scotland right now. Minus 55, and our opinion of them is minus 5. So you can basically, I don't have any... look, you can do this, improve relations, and try to improve my relationship with Scotland, you know, stuff like that. Again, thank you guys for watching this video. I wanted to do it more short, but it's kind of impossible with this type of games. If you want me to do some kind of let's play, or maybe explain more, or maybe see how I play, just write in the comments below. If you have questions, as I've said, write in the comments below, or go to the gamerped.com forum. Thank you for watching this. See you in my next video. Off topic wise, it's still summer. It's August 16. I'm not in the mood to work, but I will try to give you more videos soon, more quality videos soon. So this is why I somehow don't want to do Let's Plays anymore. So anyway, thank you guys. See you soon. Goodbye.